All right. Hi, everybody. My name's Trenton, and today we're going to be walking through a few of my favorite customer success stories, including each incredible result, as well as the fields and features that help them succeed. If at any point during the presentation you have any questions at all, go ahead and enter them into the GoToWebinars chat box, and I'll be sure to answer them at the end of the presentation today. So let's get started. So here's what we'll be discussing today. We'll begin with a quick overview of why these businesses chose to go digital, and then explore each customer story. We'll finish off today's webinar with an overview of how easy it is to digitize your forms, as well as a quick Q&A at the end. So let's jump right in. So you may be asking yourself, why mobile forms? Well, we live in an increasingly modern world, and using manual analog tools like paper forms, faxing, scanning, or even outdated software results in mistakes and delays that cost your business valuable time and money. By digitizing your forms for use on tablets, phones, and computers, your team can now work faster, gathering more accurate and professional data. And because your mobile forms can host data types paper couldn't hold, your team can now collect information that would otherwise be unattainable. For an example, you can include pictures right to the forms, GPS coordinates, and barcodes. And with the embedded form logic, your administrators can now control the better types of data input into their forms, but also enforce those specific data capturing processes. So for an example, if a user attempted to submit a form without their signature included, your form's logic would alert the user that their signature was missing, and they would be unable to submit that form. And finally, these forms can be completed anywhere at any time, even without signal, empowering your teams to complete their work without the restrictions of a data carrier or internet access. And with this submitted data, it makes it available in real time, allowing your teams to complete their work without waiting for that manual hand delivery or the processing of all those documents. So now that we've actually explored a few of the benefits of mobile forms, let's jump right into these customer stories. And today, we're going to start with the energy industry. And this is going to be including a story from Vestas, which is a wind turbine manufacturing and installation operation. Well, Vestas needed a digital solution to replace their time-consuming and extremely manual process of over 200 paper forms every day. Each of these paper forms were completed by hand by a team member, and then would be manually scanned in, emailed, renamed, all filed by a dedicated team member. To make matters even worse, these forms were often turned in incomplete or badly damaged by the weather. So Vestas needed a digital solution, and they used GoFormz to digitize their inspection and equipment maintenance forms while simplifying and expediting their data capturing process. This significantly reduced the time and administrative manpower spent processing and organizing all of these completed forms. These efficiencies improvements resulting in a savings of over $100,000 every year. Here are just a few of the features Vestas used to achieve such incredible results. With the offline work capabilities, the team members are often in and out of network access, so being able to work both digitally and offline is extremely important to their productivity. With barcode scanning, the employees of Vestas no longer needed to hand record with turbine serial numbers. Now they can simply scan the barcode using their device's native camera and automatically populate the corresponding form fields with the product's information from their actual database. And with the image fields, before GoFormz, the image needed to be included into the inspection report. A Vestas team member would take a picture, type up the report, upload and attach the file, and then send that report with the image to relevant departments. Now with the image field, they can take that picture on the spot and instantly include it into their forms. So now that we've actually taken a look at the energy industry, let's hop over to the petroleum industry and see how it's getting currently utilized. So Petrol Services in Australia is a retail and commercial petroleum operation, and they needed a digital solution to address the manual inefficiencies hurting their productivity. Originally, paper forms were first emailed to the technicians, which required each form to be printed, brought to the job site, filled out all by hand, then delivered back to the office, where the gathered data would then be rekeyed into all their other systems. This wasted a huge amount of time for their team. With Petrol Services in Australia, they use GoFormz to digitize several of their forms, including their preventative maintenance task sheet and calibration and verification forms. Using mobile forms, PSA now automates their time-consuming tasks and business-critical workflows, resulting in significant time and financial savings. As a result of this significant time saving and reduced administrative demands, Petrol Services Australia now saves around $350,000 every year. So here are just a few of the GoFormz features PSA credits to their success. By automating common time-consuming tasks like hand-delivering forms and rekeying data into their other systems, PSA team members can now spend more time securing sales and seeking out new opportunities without having to hire more employees. And using the drop-downs filled with data sources, PSA's team member can now select a model number straight from a drop-down list, and the asset serial and relevant details would instantly be filled into the corresponding fields. So now that we've checked out what the petroleum industry is using GoFormz for, let's hop over to the construction industry and see how Oscar Larson is using us. So Oscar Larson is a full-service petroleum and fluid handling equipment contractor, and they needed a digital solution to deliver cost-efficient calculations for customers, but also expedite their delivery of audit data while maintaining that exact look and feel of their forms. The original process of performing audit calculations was manual, time-consuming, and very costly. Additionally, the Oscar Larson's team members struggled to keep pace with the over 100,000 timesheets their employees produce every year. Each of these timesheets would need to be manually rekeyed into their HR system. But with GoFormz, these digital timesheets now automatically update their HR system every time an employee records their hours, and the sales team now can perform audit calculations instantly. These time savings saved Oscar Larson's approximately $300,000 every year. And this is in addition to the incredible $10 million in increase in sales due to their increased productivity with faster, more accurate bidding processes. So here are a few of the features Oscar Larson has used to streamline their workflows and save huge. Before GoFormz, Oscar Larson's employees would need to return to the office to run an audit calculation, generate a sales contract, and print a proposal for signing. This was all before returning to the customer. Now, this was an extremely inefficient and costly process, but with GoFormz, these digital audits can instantly and accurately calculate customer savings. And with Oscar Larson's personnel now being able to capture their signatures right then and there, you can actually submit these forms immediately from the field back to the office. And with the identical user interface, many of Oscar Larson's clients are actually government contractors, and they need a contract that are identical to the ones that were originally provided. But using GoFormz to digitize those forms, Oscar Larson's team members can now provide digital forms that look identical to the original paper forms. And GoFormz is actually the only platform that can do that for your business. So now that we've actually looked at the construction industry, let's hop over to our friends at Prestage-Forms and see what GoFormz is doing in the agriculture business. So Prestage-Forms is a leading poultry and pork producer that oversees a large number of farms and facilities. Each of Prestage-Forms' operating locations produces valuable operational data that directly impacts the quality of production, the animal care, and the facility maintenance provided. For this specific reasons, Prestage-Forms needed a solution that would allow users to automate the collection and routing of time-sensitive information and resulting in more accessible data. So initially, Prestage-Forms employees were required to complete their paperwork at the farms and facilities, producing 3 versions of each form for the growers, 1 for the personnel and 1 for the accounting team, all of which needed to be hand-delivered to the office. But by using GoFormz, Prestage-Forms replaced their limited spreadsheets and paperwork systems with GoFormz, resulting in improved communication between departments, elevating their responsiveness, and increasing their operational visibility. Here are a few of the fields and features that have helped Prestage-Forms streamline and expedite their communication and data collection. So Prestage-Forms uses the automated form routing and embedded form logic to elevate their animals' care and communication between locations. Now when a farm's inspection takes place, if a checkbox is selecting noting an animal is ill, a copy of the form is instantly routed to the veterinarian who can immediately address the situation at hand. This automation has helped save Prestage-Forms animal care and communication. And with the digital record keeping, this automation of features have allowed for the simplification, resulting in more accessible, applicable data through their group. Prestage-Forms now files their digital forms based on a grower, so that now Prestage-Forms personnel can go back and pull information on service reports if they ever have a farm that hasn't been following the correct procedures. All right, so let's move on to our final customer story, and this one's going to come from the food and beverage industry. So Muller Management is a large McDonald's franchise, and they needed a digital solution to reduce the amount of time spent on their lengthy review process documentation, but also without risking the accuracy of that collected data. So Muller Management data collection process was riddled with formula errors and was incredibly time-consuming. Picture this. Every month, the management team needed to complete a 13-page spreadsheet covering every detail of their franchise's location. So Muller Management replaced these paper forms and Excel spreadsheets with GoFormz, and in turn helped their monthly review process, resulting in quicker form completion, but also maintaining that high level of data accuracy. So here are a few of the features that have helped Muller Management with this process and this transition over to a digital platform. So rather than consistently needing to fill in the same details of each franchise, the form users can now select the franchise's name from a drop-down list, which then auto-fills corresponding fields with the franchise's information. And with the checkboxes, Muller Management also applies logic into the checkbox fields in health and safety inspection forms, calculating a total score depending on what checkbox is selected, simplifying compliance and also inspection readiness. So now that we've actually explored a few of these customers' case stories, let's review how easy it is to go over and digitize all of your forms, processes, and data with GoFormz. So first, you'll start by uploading a JPEG or PDF of your form onto your computer. You're going to drag and drop all the smart fields onto your form. You'll save that form and download the GoFormz app, and then boom, you'll be able to start filling out and completing mobile forms as you go. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for today, and I'll be sending each and every one a recording of today's webinar. But if you'd like to schedule a demonstration and jump further into what GoFormz can do for your business, you can always contact me at tpolanco@goformz.com or my direct office line, which is 858-926-7686. And thank you folks so much for today, and have a great rest of your afternoon. Take care.